Alright everybody, welcome back to the Ernest P YouTube channel. We've done in the past some videos about Mechanic Steve, our friend from China who works on mostly big trucks and equipment. Mechanic Steve puts music over his videos, so you don't hear him turning wrenches or get to hear what he has to say about things. Granted, it probably would be in Chinese. So what I do is just talk about what Mechanic Steve is doing in his videos. I'm a young mechanic. There's a bunch of people who know a lot more than me, but I just thought it would be a good idea to share what I know that Mechanic Steve is doing with everybody else to make it more relatable and hopefully get Mechanic Steve a little bit more interest. So we'll jump right into this video today. We'll do, he's got a couple new clips out, so we'll talk about what he's doing. Again, if I get something wrong or I don't know what something is, let's discuss it in the comments down below. If you haven't already, please consider liking and subscribing as we're trying to grow the channel, and I appreciate all the feedback you guys have been giving. So we'll jump right in. Okay, so here we got Steve. Looks like he's got a big old hydraulic piston. There's a big old bulldozer behind him. It might be out of that. There could be something in front of him too, but either way, that's a hydraulic piston. So in hydraulics, you know, you think of an excavator or something or a backhoe. When it moves, you know, you've got the hydraulic piston that pushes in and out. So that's what this is. Yeah, they got to make sure it's super clean. There they go. They're putting it in, and it looks like it is in that bulldozer. So, got to get it lined up perfectly straight. Super heavy, solid piece of metal. So, yeah, he's just wiggling it there to try and get it lined up straight so it goes right in, and he's touching it with a rag so it stays perfectly clean. If you get junk down in there, it can wear out the seals, and then he'll be doing this again shortly. Heavy stuff. Steve's a good worker, hard worker. Okay, there he is. Maybe his mom. Long day of work. Still enjoying some cool water. He may have given his mom a new shirt. That's cool. Cool. So he has a dump valve on that air pig, or you know, portable air tank. So they're filling it up with compressed air, so it's super, you know, full of air, has a ton of air in it. And then they're putting it down in between the bead and the rim of the tire, and they're dumping all the air in at once to try and get the tire to expand fast enough to create a seal. Okay, enjoying some watermelon. I think I saw out of the corner of my eye he might have just punched that in half. But maybe he didn't. So, looks good. Okay, what do we got here? Looks like a differential. I'm thinking that's a differential out of a truck. It's really dirty and hard to tell. He's got a big old hammer. It looks like he made out of a log, and he was hitting on that. I don't know if he was trying to break it loose. If you know exactly what he was doing, leave it in the comments. I do not know. So, okay. Just tightening down a bracket here. That bracket's what's going to hold that fuel filter up in the truck, so he's just putting it all back together. That bracket needs to be tight. That'll be what mounts the truck, so you know, if it's loose, that'll all wiggle around and end up breaking. So looks like that may be jam. Big old leak. He's gonna eat himself a snack. So I love Mechanic Steve. He's such a hard worker. We always see clips of him eating too. It's so fun to see because, you know, work hard, you gotta eat hard. So he's just an awesome guy. Don't know what it is, never had anything like that. I don't think I've ever had leaks, but if they're good, maybe let us know in the comments down below. Okay, that's a universal joint. That's what'll go in between different parts of the axle, basically, just to let it, you know, move at different angles. So he's greasing those up on the inside. They look like they were already greased, but you want to get a lot in there. Okay, so that is, what do they call that? The yoke that goes on the back of the drive shaft. If it's not a yoke, let me know what it is, but either way, the universal joint sits in there, which comes out of the transmission or the differential, and then the drive shaft connects to that so that they have a little bit of play if the truck flexes and stuff like that. It's a big old clutch. He's touching it with his fingers, which you probably shouldn't. It's like brake discs, you know, if you touch them and you have oil or grease on your fingers, it can make them slip or wear out, or just wear how they're not supposed to. So that was a clutch. He touched it, and that was a clutch disc as well, which you're also not supposed to touch, but you can if they're metal. You're just supposed to wash them off afterwards. So Okay, we got Steve here draining some fluid. Might be hydraulic fluid. Can't tell. It's either really clean oil or hydraulic fluid, but it's probably hydraulics looking at it. So, yeah, it looks like it's probably got a petcock or a valve on it that he has to hold open in order to get it all to drain out. So he's just doing that with that stick. Cool. Good old Steve, man. He's an awesome guy. Okay, we'll jump right into the next video. Okay, here we got Steve. He's got his big floor jack. Definitely a clutch. Okay. Yeah, it looks weird. I'm pretty sure that's the motor. In fact, I'm sure that's the motor. It's sitting at an angle here. That's the intake manifold. It just looks weird because it looks like that's the back of the car. Like it's like the motor's turned around backwards. Maybe a design I've never seen. It's either gonna crawl out from under it. Yeah, it was in there right. Oh, it's probably a cab over. That's probably why it wasn't all the way at the front of the motor. So anyways, that was a motor they were pulling out of the bottom of a car. Here we've got Steve pulling pistons out of a motor. He's using those gears from the flywheel to reach inside that piston in the little combustion spot chamber. I'm not sure what they call it. If you know what it is, let us know in the comments. Anyways, he's grabbing that piston and pulling it out. Okay, here we got another look at one of these universal joints. They're taking this one out, and yeah, just gotta hit on them real hard, taking them out. So what they're doing. They have two connecting rods on the ground. They were hitting that in between so that it had room to come out through the bottom of that. Okay, this looks like a starter that he has completely disassembled. Again, it's cool. People in other countries, they rebuild things, and here in the United States, at least, you know, this may not even be a starter. We'll see when he's done. I think it is though. But here in the United States, we don't really rebuild things like that. If you know a starter goes out, then we just replace the starter with a new one. But it's cool to see when people actually take them apart and find the shorts or the bad connections or broken pieces, and they just replace that. So that's what we're seeing him do here is reassemble this starter solenoid, I believe. Yeah, definitely a starter now that he put it. It was hard to tell because he had it sitting on that thing, and I thought it might be one whole piece, but it's definitely a starter for a small car. So that's the solenoid he's screwing on now. I want to see him rebuild that. There it is. Yeah, here he's testing it. He's hooking it up to the battery to make sure it turns. And yeah, see it jump in his hands. It's so hard. Those things jump so hard. You can strap them down to a bench, and it's just scary every time I've ever done one. They just jump, man. I'm surprised he held on to that in his hands. It's scary. Okay, it looks like they were washing off that motor. It's pretty cool. It was all covered in suds. So they'd probably been scrubbing on it for a while, and he's got his old water jug there, and he's dumping water on it to clean it off. So just an aesthetic thing, probably so they can work on it as well. They've got the motor pulled out, and they're just washing it up so they can take parts off it and not get super dirty. It's probably the main reason they're doing that. So. Okay, not familiar what this is, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like it's part of the exhaust system, a coupler maybe, or something. If you know what it is, let us know, but it looked like it was part of the exhaust pipe he was replacing. Okay. Yeah, working late, they all got their headlights on and can enjoy some drinks. Might be alcohol, we'll see. I think if he, yeah, might not be alcohol. If he pours it on the ground, it's probably alcohol. I think I heard somebody say in China that they always pour alcohol on the ground for their ancestors. So since he didn't do that, it might not be. Okay, this is an input or an output shaft. It might be from the hub of one of those trucks. I can't tell. So if you know exactly what it is, let us know if you want to. But it looked like a drive shaft, or an output shaft, or an input shaft. So okay, here we're got them working in the rain. Looks like they're on the side of the road, so cool. Good old Steve. Everybody, thanks for watching. If this is your first time here, check out our other videos. They'll probably be on the side over there. And as well, please like and subscribe, especially subscribe. We're trying to grow the channel. We're trying to help Steve out, as well as just create a channel to where we can continue to provide entertaining and educating content for everybody. So thanks again. If you have any comments, let them down below, and I'll try and answer everybody if I can. Thanks a million. As always, have a good day. Peace out.